guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to go over another one of those champion kind of tandem videos, right? Two champions that pair really well together, especially when you build them in the correct way. So we done one on Mausoleum Mage and Seer, which was incredible. A lot of people really loved that video, seeing those two champions really in tandem clear waves in a matter of seconds in level 20 dungeons. We also did one with Bellower and Scylla the Drakes, how to crowd control basically any single dungeon with those champions in tandem. And today we're going to do two of my favorites again. I have a lot of ideas for this series, so go ahead and suggest some if you guys have two champions that pair really well together. Today is going to be two rare champions for the first time in this series, and they're actually going to be Pain Keeper and Reliquary Tender. Now, with Pain Keeper and Reliquary Tender, even though they're rare, albeit void champions, these two rare champions can support any level 20 dungeon team. And when I say support, I really mean support. These two in tandem can make any team absolutely just incredible, unbeatable in the sense of 100% win rates, so you can farm these levels with consistency and optimize your energy usage and get access to good gear. Of course, that's why we farm dungeons to begin with. So I have them built in certain ways that I want to share with you guys, right? So it involves two artifact sets. Do you have to have a shield and relentless set? No, but it's way better if you do, okay? And we're going to talk about why in today's video. So Pain Keeper. Why do we love Pain Keeper, man? Well, she's incredible. On the A1, she fills her champion turn meter by 10% on a 2-time hitter based on defense and then attack. And then we have HP and attack scaled on her A2. It's an AoE attack that heals all allies by 15% of this champion's max HP, and in combat tactics, decreases the cooldowns of all ally skills by 1 turn, okay? Really cool kit. In terms of masteries on this champion, I have War Master on her. I also have, it looks like I just went with Spirit Haste on this champion with Lore of Steel and with Cycle of Magic. Now, Lore of Steel actually in this build is not helping me at all, right? I don't have any basic artifact sets on her, so that must have been because of a previous build. Obviously, Lore of Steel, only use it if you're going to have basic sets of artifacts, so I might need to go ahead and, well, will need to go ahead and redo her masteries. But, you know, long story short, we're building her with a lot of HP in a shield set, right? Because she's healing based off her max HP on an AoE on all your champions. She's going to help them stay alive with her heal and with the shield that she has for 3 turns. She has 70k almost HP, so it's going to be a really nice shield. It's going to be basically equal to a lot of my other squishier champions' total HP, so they get basically double HP every single round thanks to Pain Keeper's shield. It's going to be a great sustainer. I don't even have her with 100% crit rate. I don't really care about damage out of this champion. I don't really care about that many other stats other than her HP, and make sure that her speed or defense are you know, decent, okay? That's all I care about. Pain Keeper, shield set. She's going to be my support and my heal on my team. Now, Reliquary Tender. She goes really well with Reliquary Tender because Reliquary Tender is going to be my reviver on the team, and she's also going to be my main healer on the team. I have her in a Relentless set. 18% chance to get an extra turn. So with the combat tactics from Pain Keeper paired with the Relentless set, she's going to be going a lot, and she's going to have her cooldown on Tender's Watch down from 3 turns to 2 turns, or 1 turn even, quite a bit, between the Relentless chance of taking the extra turn and Pain Keeper every 4 turns, giving her again that extra turn kind of built in vis-a-vis the combat tactics ability, okay? So she's going to have a lot of removing debuffs from all allies and then placing a 15%, which is a strong version of continuous heal on them for 2 turns. So she's not going to be doing this every 3 turns. She's going to be doing this essentially every 2 turns, give or take. And then she has the Call to Life. It's a 5-turn revival. So really nice to have a reviver on your team. There's not a lot of rare revivers in this game, and Reliquary Tender is definitely the best, in my opinion, in terms of her overall support kit. And added to that, she has the Revive. Again, this Revive is on a 5-turn cooldown, which is actually quite a bit for a Revive skill. However, again, with the Relentless, it's going to be cycling this down 1 out of every 5-6 turns, going to get that extra turn in there. And then Pain Keeper is going to help as well. So sometimes this will be essentially on a 3-turn cooldown if you kind of, you know, the math doesn't exactly work out to that. There's some RNG based in that, but with the Pain Keeper and the Relentless, it's going to keep Reliquary Tender healing a lot, and it's going to keep her reviving more often than every 5 turns in case anybody dies or things start to get out of hand. Having these two champions, again, in the Relentless set, by the way, a ton of books on Reliquary Tender. I mean, look at 9 levels on the A1? What? And then she has 2 levels, thankfully, on the A2 and only 1 on the A3. But wow, 9 levels on an A1. I don't know if I've seen 9 levels on an A1 before. Either way, rare books are relatively easy to find compared to epic and legendary tomes. So there we go. In terms of masteries on this champion, again, I do have War Master, so she's getting a little bit of damage off on bosses. All of Pain Keeper and Reliquary Tender's damage, for the most part, is coming off of the War Master procs once we actually get to the bosses. I have Lasting Gifts on this champion, extend the continuous heals, and I have Spirit Haste also on Reliquary Tender. In terms of overall stats on Reliquary, and you guys are going to see how this tandem really works, you can support basically any team with these 2 champions. Even if you don't have a decreased defense, decreased attack, like all those strong debuffers on your team, the support from both these champions, provided the Pain Keeper's in that shield set, is going to be enough to get you through basically any level 20 dungeon. And again, these are void champions, no negative affinity matchups to worry about, okay? So I went all defense, all HP on, actually I went attack on her banner, but I would go HP or defense as well. I just happened to get a triple roll of speed, so yeah, I'm going to run that artifact. Unfortunately, I used a 5-star glyph on this, and I only got a +1. Are there any worse feelings in the game? I'm sure dupe legendaries is probably worse, but other than that, rolling a 1 on a 5-star glyph, that really sucks. Anyway, guys, I can always redo that. So her total stats in terms of Reliquary Tender, again, very easy champion to build, right? Her base HP is pretty high at 18k for a rare, so I decided to put an HP chest on her, so 55k HP, 2200 defense, 199 speed. Again, all I really care about is speed and getting some defensive stats, especially if I do have the Relentless set on her. You know, that's it. She's easy to build. Very easy to build, okay? You don't have to have god tier gear at all. You don't even have to level up the top row past level 12. Obviously you would ideally like to eventually, but, you know, it's not mandatory. But so anyway, let's go ahead and throw them in a dungeon here. Doesn't matter which one. They do well on every single dungeon. So let's go ahead and put them in, I don't know, Ice Golem, because I feel like we always go Fire Knight and Dragon for some reason, so we'll get this OP team out of there. And let's see, who are we going to put in? Well, let me go ahead and pick a team. Alright guys, so we're going to go with this all-rare team here against level 20 Ice Golem here. And again, we have Apothecary in lead for the defense in dungeons by 21%. We have Bellower, we have Reliquary Tender, we have Kale, and we have Pain Keeper. Again, no decreased defense other than the weak version on Bellower, but we'll be fine. You know, we don't need to have... I think that as long as you have OP sustainability and heals, which we do on this team, you're good. It's not going to be the fastest run you've ever seen, but it's going to be a consistent 100% win rate run, and that's the idea behind this tandem in Pain Keeper. And you can see that shield, right? So 3 turns of the shield is going to be just enough to get these champions at least almost dead, the enemies, I should say, and make sure that we all stay alive. So shields are down now, but at this point in the battle, we have some CC down. We don't actually have any stuns landed here at this point, so a little bit of bad RNG on Bellower, but still, with the continuous heals, with the combat tactics, and everything's, you can see, it's not going to be super flashy. You're not going to see huge numbers, but everybody's going to be able to stay alive just fine. And every single round we get to, we get the refresh of the Pain Keeper shield and Reliquary Tender. If anybody does die, no big deal at all. She'll just pick them right back up. And again, with that Relentless set, she'll have more heals and a smaller cooldown on her her revive. So it's going to take us 1 minute to get through this first wave. But again, like we talked about on other videos here on the channel, right, is that it's not about speed, man. If you're so concerned with speed in this game, then either you're the biggest of whales who has unlimited money to spend on unlimited energy, or you're just doing it for the fun of it. And there's nothing wrong with doing it just for the fun of it. However, you know, I just don't think I talked about this so many times on the channel, so I won't belabor the point, but it's not something you absolutely need in terms of speed or like fast dungeon teams. I'd rather be 100% win rate, 100% consistent, and I like doing so with teams that are, you know, all rares like this. Granted, again, a couple of void champions, especially this tandem we're talking about, plus Bellower as well, but still a very consistent run. And you can see we're going to lose Kale here. No big deal. We'll pick him right back up. And that's why Reliquary Tender is so great to have on your team. She puts that continuous heal, and she procced the Relentless set right there, right? Because she revived him, I believe, and then she healed him right away with a continuous heal, and he's going to be right back in the fight, no worries at all. Basically, Kale is my only damage dealer, my only kind of nuker on this team right now. Bellower I don't have with 100% crit rate. I don't have anybody really with 100% crit rate or even close to, except for just Kale. And even with the reflect damage, we're able to keep him alive, and we have the spot heals too as well from Apothecary. So you guys see how a team like this can work, and it's really in terms of, I guess Apothecary is helping, right? But I have to choose champions to put with these two as well, right? But you can see that, especially when we get to the Ice Golem here, the nice thing about this, it's slow and steady wins the race kind of deal, right? Because we're not going to be killing the Ice Golem really quickly, but that actually helps us out in a weird way as well, because what's essentially going to happen here is if you start to kill the Ice Golem too quickly, you're going to be just absolutely annihilated with all these AoE attacks. And with this team, again, it's nice and slow. I'm not even sure if we're going to be able to kill the minions here, because we probably could use a little bit more DPS, maybe like a, well, not War Maiden in this Affinity matchup, but at least we do kill the left guard here. Can we kill the right one? I don't know. He might ignore 50% defense, the Fire Knight, but it's okay. Again, if anybody dies, we're going to be A-okay. We're going to be good. And again, Disintegrate goes down. There we go. Almost. Yeah, we do kill him there. And we'll get a few hits in on the Ice Golem here. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cut here because I do want to show you more than one dungeon. And, you know, all rare team. Again, these champions are fairly accessible comparatively to some of the legendaries that we see in the game in these level 20 dungeons. Be right back. Alright guys, so 6 minutes, but it still got the job done, as you guys can see. So, let's see, crit rate, attack, crit rate. I think we'll keep it. Because crit rate with crit rate is not too bad. So, yeah guys, I mean, again, consistent, not the fastest, but this is what you can do with an all-rare team, again, in any dungeon. Let's go ahead and show you Dragon's Lair here. Again, I'm going to go with the same exact team, essentially. I hope that it's cool with you guys. I go to the same team, but Dragon's Lair generally considered to be a little bit easier than Ice Golem. But the same thing, the beautiful thing about a team like this too is I would actually sub out Kale for Cold Heart if you have her in Fire Knight, and then otherwise go with the same exact team. You can also sub in Syl the Drakes for a lot of these champions, really, especially Reliquary Tender. If you don't have her, you don't have her built out. But a team like this, incredibly efficient, incredibly, you know, and you can kind of go in there in min-max them, and you can get in there and just glyph up all these champions and continue to kind of improve their gear, and it's all about sustainability. Remember, you're not as concerned with putting out as much damage as humanly possible. It's rather, you know, upgrading a champion here or there if you have a better option. So you might have a better option than Apothecary on your team, a better option than Bellower. Of course I do, but I'm trying to show you it with kind of a base limit of what you can do with these champions, especially this tandem in any dungeon. And the thing is, I do have Kale in an attack percentage chest plate, so he might die. You know, I think we saw him die in the last match. It's been like 10 minutes ago. I can't remember that far back. But even if he does, or if your Cold Heart dies in Fire Knight, it's totally fine. It's nice to have Apothecary in there again because the multi-hitter on his A1. That's why, again, I would put Cold Heart in there for Fire Knight. That way she's hitting 4 times on her A1 as well. But again, a team like this, refreshed with 3 rounds of shield here on the second wave. Again, even if we lose somebody, no big deal. With the Relentless, we'll be able to pick them right back up with Reliquary Tender. Reliquary Tender, especially against the Dragon, is really useful too because she's able to strip away all those poisons on that cleanse, and able to do so pretty frequently again with the combat tactics and the Relentless set. So having those 2 sets, by the way, I should mention I do have Bellower in the stun set as well to help a little bit with the CC on this team. And you can see it's very effective, landing 2 stuns there so far against this team in the second wave. And when we get to the Dragon, again, it's not going to be super fast, probably about a 5-minute run or so here with this team, and it can just get faster and even more efficient. Well, I guess the efficiency is already there, but it can just get faster once you decide to kind of upgrade some of these champions with epics or legendaries, whatever you happen to have on your account. But the most important thing is the roles these champions are playing in the team. Bellower, debuffer / CC champion. Kale, damage dealer, nuker. Apothecary, a speed booster more than the heal necessarily. So speed boosting, increased speed, turn meter manipulation. And then, of course, the tandem support between Pain Keeper and Reliquary Tender to revive and heal, support your champions with that shield as well. So here we are, the Dragon, about 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. And again, not going to be the fastest run of all time, but very consistent. I love these 2 champions together, Reliquary Tender and Pain Keeper. 2 champions that are rare, that can help you out in the early game, obviously, in the mid game, and even the late game of Raid Shadow Legends, because ultimately, once you can clear a level 20 dungeon, no matter what dungeon it is, and look at that really just nice removal, all the poisons stripped away, and then the combat tactics, she already has that, and extra turn, she already has it up again. the continuous heal because Relentless Gear procced there. See how beautiful that is? Right, that sequence right there is why I love these two champions. And boom, right again, it is the continuous heal for 2 turns, and she's just right back to it. And I just love that about this champion. I love that about this tandem of champions between those two kind of skills proccing off each other, playing with each other. So yeah, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm going to continue doing this again as we watch the finale of this Dragon's Lair run. Again, let me know, guys, you have any champions that you think, whether it involves adding special sets to their kit or whether it's just to, you know, even if it's a legendary and a rare, I just love learning about new tandems that work really well together. And as I was saying to finish up the point I was making earlier, once you can clear level 20 dungeons in this game, you can get good gear, right? You can get it. Even if it takes you 5 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever this is going to take, you can get 6-star speed gear, start putting them on your champions, start making all your champions and your account better. So guys, we're going to go ahead and end it there. No speed on this speed shield, unfortunately. If I got a speed roll, I would have kept it. But there you go, guys. I mean, Kale did all the damage for our team with 2.4 million overall damage. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. And as always, take care, guys.